If there is one device that has been praised by almost everyone over the last few days, that has to be the Poco F3. I've been using this phone for a while, and in today's review, I'll talk about the most important facts only. And by the way, if you are watching my channel for the very first time, please subscribe and hit the like button if you find this video good enough at some point. Okay, let's talk about the good stuff first. In a price bracket of about $350 you get a phone built out of glass, Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, a lightweight phone with a modern design and a lot of premiumness all over it. This year, Xiaomi, Redmi and Poco all have done an incredible job with the weight management on their devices. Poco F3 is not a water and dust resistant phone, but it has IP53 certification, so it can definitely handle a splash. The phone's shiny back with a glossy mirror look is just super cool, but it is fingerprint and smudges magnet at the same time. Sadly, there is no headphone jack in this phone. It has 3.5mm to headphone jack converter in the box. There is no micro SD card slot in this phone either. You can get this phone with a storage of 128 gigs or 256 gigs, and I am using this phone with 256 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM. The side mounted power button also acts as the phone's fingerprint scanner, and it's quite fast. Poco has used Samsung's E4 AMOLED display on this phone. This display has peak brightness of 1300 nits, and this is a full HD screen. The punch hole size is really small. Bezels are sleek too. 120Hz refresh rate is there too. The display looks incredible for the most part. Great performance indoor and outdoor. No viewing angle issues at all. Colors are super good, and this is one of the very good displays on these smartphones. Poco F3 suffered the screen dimming issues. In fact, my unit still has the screen dimming issues. The screen automatically drops the brightness when playing games or using the phone for too long. Poco did fix this issue in the MIUI 12.0.40 update, but that update has made its way to only a few regions so far. It's still not available in my region, and it's still not available in most of the regions, and as I said, I am also one of the users waiting for this update to fix my phone. When I talked about the Poco F3 back in the day on my channel, I did mention that I do not recommend this phone until Poco fixes the issue. Now that Poco has fixed the issue, it has also changed my mind, but I'll tell you about what I think later in this video. Software on this phone is the MIUI 12 themed by the Poco launcher. The control center on this Poco F3 looks really cool. I totally love using it. Using the navigation gestures maximizes your experience further. This is a typical MIUI 12 for the most part, but with that 120Hz refresh rate of the phone, the animations on the software look quicker. The overall experience is pretty good. Since this uses an AMOLED panel, you also get the always on display feature, and unlike the Redmi Note 10 Pro or the Mi 11 Lite's always on display, there is no time limit on the Poco F3. You can keep using the AOD all the time as well. The back tap feature to launch an application or perform a task on this phone is also one of my favorite features, and there are definitely more gestures and shortcuts available in this phone. To cut it short, Poco has really gone ahead and provided us with a flagship software experience on this phone. The camera app also comes with the latest UI, and my most favorite part in the camera app is the Pro mode. Poco F3's Pro mode has the audio level bars and histogram in the Pro video mode as well. Other features in its camera app are similar to other Poco or the Xiaomi phones. A special mention here, I really love the haptic feedback on this phone. Typing on this phone or clicking on the screen gives you that clicky feel and sound that you get when you knock a glass. I mean, it's really orgasmic. I cannot find a better word to explain it. Poco has done a great job with the haptics on this phone. Since this phone comes with the Snapdragon 870 chipset, it's a true beast in terms of the performance. First of all, you get the ultra high-end graphics options for all the games. You can run most of your games at 60 frames per second. The phone completely slays the benchmark test. Top-notch flagship scores can be seen there. I wasn't able to run the 3D Mark benchmark test. According to 3D Mark, Xiaomi doesn't allow running their benchmark on some of its phones, and Poco F3 is in that unfortunate list. I did play games like the PUBG Mobile and the COD Mobile on this phone, and I completely loved the experience. This phone does produce a bit of a heat, but I think that's quite manageable. Overall, this phone is a performance beast and you can expect the best from it. And yeah, the Snapdragon 870 has 5G capabilities too. While playing the games, I also focused on the speakers' performance. I found the speakers quite good. No complaints there at all. The first big compromise made by Poco in the Poco F3 is in the camera department. Poco opted for a 2-year-old Sony IMX582 sensor. It's a 48 megapixel sensor and other camera details of this phone are on your screen. The camera result of this phone is fine. When I say Poco made a compromise here, I only mean to say that they did not provide a flagship camera experience like the rest of the phone does. This is a rather mediocre camera experience, the result is not super good. Colors are boosted in this sensor, dynamic range at times is really good and at times the highlights get blown off. I like the video performance of this phone. In the ultra wide mode it captures great videos. It has EIS in almost all of its video modes except for the 1080p at 60fps. Another good thing about this phone is its capability to record 60fps videos from its front camera. I have already done a full camera review of this phone and you can watch that by clicking on the card appearing on the top left corner of the screen. Since this is a very small and lightweight phone, that also means this phone has a slightly smaller battery. It packs a 4520 mAh battery. I conducted a full battery drain test of this phone and in my test, this phone kept dropping its brightness, which gave it kind of an advantage. It managed to last for about 8 hours and 29 minutes, so with the full brightness, you can expect this phone to last for about 7 hours and 50 minutes. And to charge it, you only need 64 minutes. And with this we reach the conclusion. Poco F3 offers you everything that the competitors can't even imagine of offering in this price bracket. This phone gets my recommendation. It's an absolute value for money product, but there are a few trade-offs that you need to keep in mind. This phone does not have a headphone jack, so if you are a gamer, that might be a deal breaker for you. No IP67 certification in this phone. It's important to mention here because Samsung has brought the IP67 certification to its mid-range phones now. A relatively old camera sensor is also one of its downsides. Rest is all good on this phone. This is a performance-centric phone and its performance speaks for itself. Drop your feedback in the comment section below, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. With that being said, I will sign off and see you all in the next one.